New York City has been in the news for its mayor, Eric Adams. He was indicted, and a dozen top administrators are being investigated by the FBI. Some of them resigned. Taxpayers have sunk tens of millions into the salaries of these elected leaders, and at times the outcome has been a complicated web of favors and also criminal allegations. Joining us now to discuss all of this is Open the Book's Deputy Public Policy Editor Rachel O'Brien. Thank you so much once again for joining us. And first, I want to give our audience kind of like a perspective on all this, because we're focusing on the administration of Mayor Eric Adams. First, let's go over all the indictments here and just the sheer number of staff members who have been facing charges.
Yeah, so Eric Adams is the first sitting New York City mayor to ever be indicted. He was charged with 5 counts of bribery, wire fraud, soliciting illegal foreign donations. The country at the center of all this is Turkey. He's accused of taking illegal campaign donations from Turkey, luxury travel worth over $100,000. And so there's 13 New York City employees who've been questioned by the FBI, had their phones and other documents seized. 2 people were indicted, 1 person last year, 1 person this year. So far, 8 people have resigned. And we're talking about top aides, the schools commissioner, the first deputy mayor, the interim, the police commissioner, and the interim police commissioner, both investigated. There's also members of the mayor's transition team, his campaign fundraising team, former employees, all questioned and searched by the FBI.
And you talk about a complicated web here. I mean, this is all interwoven, involving nepotism as well among the mayor's staff. Who's exactly involved in all this?
Adams has filled his top slots in his administration with his friends and their family members, and in some positions, his family members. So David Banks, the school's chancellor, he's a longtime Adams friend. He put him in that position. Sheena Wright is David Banks's wife. She is Eric Adams' first deputy mayor. Their house was raided by the FBI. They both resigned. Eric Adams' own girlfriend, Tracy Collins, she was given a senior advisor position by the school's commissioner, and a $50,000 raise. The schools had both brothers, Philip Banks, Terrence Banks, also involved here. Philip Banks was Eric Adams' deputy mayor for public safety. He resigned. Their third brother, he was also searched by the FBI. His phone was seized. Eric Adams got his sister-in-law, Sharon, a job. He tried to get his brother a job and pay him $242,000. He was stopped for once by city rules that said you cannot hire your brother. He kept him on as an advisor making $1, but he was able to put all of these friends and family in other positions.
And that is the question for a lot of voters, taxpayers. The money here, where does all this money lead, and how much all these folks are making?
Right, so taxpayers are paying for all of this. So just these 13 city employees alone made over $3 million last year. The school's chancellor is the highest paid. He made $363,000. His wife, as first deputy mayor, made $275,000. The mayor himself is $258,000. You have people all of these people well over $200,000 in 1 year. If you look at, many of them have worked for Eric Adams or for the city for a while. And so collectively in the last decade, they made almost $13.5 million from taxpayers. And again, these are people who were hired by Eric Adams because they were in his inner circle. He knew many of them for years. He hired his friends and families, and $13.5 million in the last decade to people who now are being investigated by the FBI.
All right, Open the Books, Deputy Public Policy Editor Rachel O'Brien, as always, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.